So you have a story. That's amazing. But here's the question. Have you started actually writing it yet? I've talked with a lot of authors and everything, both self-published and traditional, and a lot of them either go one of two ways or even both. They will have a notebook and pencil, or they will have a laptop or something that they could have on their phone with them at all times. And here's the thing, both things work, but still, what exactly are these tools of the trade that we use? What are the benefits? What are the kind of caveats to them? Essentially, it all depends on preference of what you use and what you don't. And I thought today that this is Preptober for a lot of authors getting ready for NaNoWriMo or just using NaNoWriMo as an accountability event to basically talk about tools of the trade and basically how you start your story. This is Kathleen Lyons here at the Magic Library, and let's talk about these tools of the trade and what I like to use and also my personal opinions on some. All right, so before we get started and everything, I wanted to thank everyone who came by to visit me at my table at Foothills Book Fest. I had a lot of fun at the event. I actually got there extremely early, considering I was only living like 10 minutes away from the event. And I went there. I got to network with a lot of authors, met a whole lot of new friends. And I can't wait to actually order some of their books because I did not get a chance to actually go and buy any books at this event because that was sort of my rule. But just to let you know, for those who are somewhat new to the channel, I will actually be doing 2 more events in November. I am going to the Calera Nerd Fest on November 8th, and on November 15th, I believe that's right, November 15th, I will actually be doing another event here in my hometown of Jasper, Alabama. I will be selling at the Jasper Fairy Tale Festival, and I'm very, very excited for it. It's going to be another thing of sort of networking and also getting my name out there. So I'm very, very excited. The reason I bring this up is that I actually met a newly published author, and she was going traditionally published. And they were writing, and at the time of the event, they were actually waiting on the books to be published. And it was very big for her, and she was actually going around to all the different tables, and she was networking, talking about hers and talking about her journey as a writer. I very much enjoyed it, and I hope all the best for her because she was very, very excited about it. And I'm excited about it for her too. Just a writer giving another writer some hype and everything. It was very, very awesome to meet her. So talking with other authors and everything, both at the event and also at other events and also in writing groups, I get a lot of things of where you're sort of in the divide. The divide being that you either go traditional with your writing and you use pen and paper, or you do everything on a word processing program on your computer or something like on your phone or on your tablet. And that's all well and good, but there are some pros and cons to each of them. So I'll be going over some of those, and I will also be talking about my take on it and everything. I'm a little bit of a hybrid. I use a little bit of both. If you've seen any of the other videos in this series, I've actually talked about how I'm sort of a hybrid, where I will actually write drafts 1 and 2 by hand before I ever touch a keyboard, and that's sort of where I'm coming at this from, just to see that, hey, there are some pros and cons to either. And these tools of the trade and everything, it's like no matter what you use, as long as you're getting your story down, that's very, very important. So let's get started with this list. So when you're getting started writing your story, you have a few options of how you get that story onto the page. And the first one you actually don't hear a whole lot talked about. It is the OG method, dictation software. Telling stories around a campfire has basically been a age-old method of telling stories. And it's usually how we get many of the myths and legends that we know today and many of the stories, because they were all told of word of mouth before that they were ever written down. For those who are very theatrical and dramatic and want to embrace their inner theater kid, there are a lot of modern ways to actually do this. Dictation software is something that helps you get your idea from your mind onto something that you can hear back. I've seen people do it with tape recorders. I've seen people actually do it with video diaries. It could be used either way. If this method works for you, afterwards you can have a friend actually type out and basically be the secretary to what you're saying on your tapes. Or you can try to do it yourself, but usually dictation software is used for people who want to be writers but do have a problem with dyslexia, especially from what I've seen. I don't hear it all so often, but I do hear it as a way of that's just somehow people's brains work. Talking about how people's brains work in terms of how they want to tell their story, not with dyslexia. Dyslexia is a very complex issue, and I actually want to do some more research on it because sometimes I think that I'm a little bit dyslexic sometimes, just a little bit. Not so much that it's debilitating, but it's just I don't have to have any special concessions for it. And for those of you who actually may suffer a little bit with dyslexia, my heart goes out to you. So I will always say this: just keep following your dreams no matter what obstacles are in your way. So the second method is something that I use all the time because I have an abundance of composition notebooks. The classic method of writing down stories: pen and paper. When history was finally recorded, it was pictures on cave walls, and then later on, it was the first ever writing system, cuneiform. Oh, if our ancestors could see where we've come from, how far we've gone in this day and age. Like I said before, if you followed me here for a while, you will know that I absolutely love putting pen to paper and using that as my writing. Because to me, there's something about writing by hand that is just, it makes it feel magical. And I think that's more of just a preference thing on my part. I keep a number of notebooks labeled with each story and basically the working title, the vibes for it, and I will sometimes put in character sheets that I've done on separate sheets of paper and put them along in between the pages of the notebook, just to make sure that I have the vibe right. You don't have to go get a whole bunch of notebooks. A binder and some loose leaf paper work very well as notebooks. The only reason I recommend it is because it's a good way to keep everything organized, and you sort of have something tangible already. Because the dream of every author is to one day hold a finished copy of their book in their hands. And it's sort of magical to see the steps that come from the first steps of writing a book to the final product. And sometimes it's just nice to go back to your roots of when you were drawing and writing bits and pieces on paper when you were a child. So there's that. So if you're a little bit of a traditionalist, I definitely recommend getting yourself some paper, a pen or pencil, and go to town on writing. It's very, very fun, especially for me. But this next one may be for people who may not do well with writing by hand. And I sort of have this complication sometimes when it's later on. So let's talk about the digital world. No, not Digimon, even though I loved the show when I was a kid. Whether you dictate your story or you write it with pen and paper, sooner or later you will eventually have to touch a keyboard. Most formatting and publishing nowadays is done electronically, so you will have to conquer your fears of the dreaded keyboard and the blank Word document. It's best to go ahead and get acquainted with a laptop or a desktop where you will be doing your writing. I'm just saying. There are many types of software that authors use to write their story when at the keyboard. Microsoft Word was the way to go a long time before they became a subscription and everything is going through a paywall. So the go-to program to use now is actually Google Docs. Third draft and beyond for me is strictly done at the keyboard, and I will always use Google Docs to write my story and to go through everything just to make sure everything is kosher. It's not done me wrong yet, but I have heard some horror stories of what goes on with Google. So I would say use caution, and if you have the money, you can use Microsoft Word, but besides that, I say just do some research, go and look at some of the other writing software and Word document software and see what just speaks to you. A lot of authors actually do a combination of any of these methods, or they do all three. It all depends on how you tell your story, how your brain works, and basically what you feel like doing. So go out there and find your method. Experiment and have fun with it. When I first started writing and I wrote my first manuscript when I was in high school, I did it I did several drafts on paper before I actually completely moved it over to a Word document. And I will say this, I actually like going back and doing the writing method better before I even touch a keyboard. I think it's because for me, the keyboard feels a little too professional and official, and I still want to change a whole lot of stuff before I even touch a keyboard with when it comes to my stories. So that's just me. All right, so that is it for the video and everything. Thank you guys so much for sticking around and sort of just going with me throughout my nonsense and everything. Videos like this are always fun. I like doing a little bit of just hand cam and also doing face-to-face. So let me know which one you like down in the comments below. So if you guys missed me at the Foothills Book Fest, I will actually be doing 2 more events in November. On November 8th, I will be doing the Clear Nerd Fest in Clear, Alabama. Just a hop, skip, and a boat ride away from Montevallo. I also am going to be doing the Jasper Fairy Tale Festival in Jasper, Alabama, the week after that on November the 15th. I'm very much looking forward to it. It's going to be so much fun. I'm actually working on a new outfit for the Fairy Tale Festival, just because it's like, you know, it's supposed to be, I think, primarily fantasy, and considering I'm paranormal dark fantasy, I could still technically do that. But the next story that I'm actually working on after I get done with the Astroblood Chronicles and everything, I will actually be doing a fairy tale story, and I'm thinking I've got a few in mind. But I may be working on all 3 on all of them at once. I don't know yet. But that is it. If you guys want to keep up with me on the events that I go to and stuff that's going to be happening with the website and all the stuff that I'm selling, you can go down to my link tree in the description below and actually follow me on all of my socials. You can go to my website. I actually have a shop on there where I sell signed copies of my books, as well as the book merch boxes. Each box comes with a signed copy or copies of the books, depending on which set you buy. It comes with a set of 5 prints that I actually drew for the series, 2 bookmarks, and a sticker pack. And I'm also putting a little bit of my little art project on there. About a year ago, I started a little project called Chibi Cute Skulls, and I was wanting to see just how far I could stretch the words chibi, cute, and skull. And let's just say that list has grown exponentially. So I have a few sets that I want to do. The next set that I'm going to be doing is going to be the Western Zodiac that I will be putting to pen, that I will be getting printed and everything. After that, I will be doing the monster movie skulls, where there will be Dracula, the Wolfman, Frankenstein's monster, the mummy, and a zombie, and there will probably be more to add to that list pretty soon. And I've got several other ones planned as well that I actually have drawn out and that I just need to sit down and draw with my tablet. So I will be keeping you guys up to date with that. And also keep a look on the website for a little thing called the sticker collection. I will actually be hopefully putting up a thing where you can actually customize your own sticker pack, get any of the stickers from either the book-related packs or the Chibi Cute Skulls, and for $5 you can get 5 stickers. And I'm hoping that this will actually turn out sort of very well. I love the stickers that I draw and everything, and I want to share that with people. So yeah. So what's the next video topic I should do? I'm actually running out of topics to do for this series, and I want to do some more videos. Should I do some art videos? Should I do some stuff for storytelling and everything? What should I do? You guys can let me know down in the comments, and just leave your thoughts about the video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, even though I don't think that particularly works on YouTube anymore if they tell you to do that. But just like, if you're interested in this delightful conversation that we have on this channel about writing, about storytelling, and about stuff like that, let me know what topics that you want to be discussed down in the description below, or down in the comments below, and I will make a video about it. But all in all, that's all for me today, so I will see you guys in the next one. This is Kathleen Lyons here at the Magic Library, and you guys have a very wonderful day. Bye, guys.